How you doing, Mom? You okay? You okay though? You good? Comfortable?
You got an intelligent young son. You got to be proud of him.
Thanks.
No problem. Go ahead, bro.
All right, 182. So you asked me, how did Judas die?
Right, so let's do the verses first.
Sure.
Right, because I like to always go back to the scripture, right?
Good.
Then he threw down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. So what did he do with the money that he got from inequity? Look right here. Let's read it together.
Are you talking about when he
Matthew 27:5. Let's read the verse, bro.
Let's see. Matthew 27:5. Yeah, throwing down the pieces of silver into the temple, he departed and went and hanged himself.
So what did he do with the money here?
He threw it at the priest.
Okay. And then, how did he die?
He hung himself.
Excellent.
And
We're just talking about the verse.
No, but you're asking me how did he die, period.
In the verse.
Okay. So I just want you to know that this is not
We'll get to that. Right? Take it easy, bro. Take it easy. All right. I just want to be clear. In this verse in Matthew, he threw the money away. He didn't use it, right? He threw it in the temple.
He threw it to the
okay.
He threw it back
and he hanged himself.
Yep.
That's how he died.
Yep.
Okay. Acts 1:18.
How you doing, Mom? You okay? You okay though? You good? Comfortable?
You got an intelligent young son. You got to be proud of him.
Thanks.
No problem. Go ahead, bro.
All right, 182.
Acts 1:18.
My hands are cold. All right, I'm here.
All right, read it.
Now this man acquired a field with the reward of wickedness, and falling headlong, he burst open in the middle, and all his bowels gushed out.
Okay. So now in this verse, there is no hanging, there is no throwing out the money. Instead, he purchased the field with the money, right?
I'll let you finish.
I'm just asking. Now this man purchased the field. So with the money he got, the wages of inequity, he didn't throw it at the temple. Instead, he bought a piece of land with it. And then falling headlong. If you look up the definition of headlong, or even the Greek of it, headlong is not when you fall, not when you drop. When you're running or moving and you're falling is such that your head goes ahead of you, not when you drop, right?
So,
this is just a linguistic
question. Go ahead. Is it not possible that if a person were to fall down, that they can end up going headlong first and falling like that?
Sure. When you, sure, you want me to answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Possible.
When you drop, right? Linguistically, this is not called falling headlong because whether, sure, let me explain. Sure.
I express
when
myself,
you,
but I'm listening.
excellent. When you are in movement, your head goes forward. When you are dropping, it's not called headlong, right? This is called dropping. Whether your head falls first or your feet, and by laws of gravity, if you're hanging, right, you would drop. But on top of that, there is no mention of hanging in this verse, right? So this verse shows that he bought a field, and falling headlong, he fell in such a way that his entrails burst. The other verse mentioned that he took that money and he threw it. He didn't buy a field with it. And in that verse, he hung himself. These are two different accounts. Go ahead.
All right, cool. So you're familiar with harmonization, right?
Sure.
So with certain, let's say, cases, there's certain accounts of an event that happened.
Sure.
Certain things will be mentioned in one account, certain things will be mentioned in another, right?
Agreed.
But it doesn't mean that it contradicts, as long as, and they can harmonize. Right?
Sure.
So, one, let's just do this. I'll show you what this says. Because the field was bought with the money, the Jewish leaders paid Judas to betray. The Jewish leaders paid Judas to betray Jesus.
Is that in the verse?
Well, it's in the other account. It's in the other account.
Which is the other account?
The Matthew one. In the Matthew one.
So let me go back to that. Because what you're reading, I don't see in the account.
So to
Okay, so here's the account in Matthew. Then he threw down the pieces. This is the account. What you were reading is not from the account. It was somebody's explanation. What you were reading is not from the account. It was somebody's explanation.
You're talking about what he did with the
money and how he died.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in the verse here.
I'm harmonizing.
Oh, but are you reading somebody else's commentary or using text?
Well, I'm definitely using commentary to show you.
Oh, okay.
It's in the other account.
So I just want to understand that you're not reading from the Bible itself. You're reading some. I just want to know what you're reading first.
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm giving you a harmonization of how this works together.
Let me just say one thing then. Let's say you say he's wearing a red shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
And I say he's wearing a black shirt with blue stripes and gray stripes.
Yeah. Now that's a contradiction.
No, that's a contradiction. Now, if somebody wants, they can come and make an explanation for it, right? They can say, well, when you looked at him, the sun glared you, and in the glare of the sun, you saw it to be red because of the reflection of this. But that's not textual. You're just coming after the fact and making up an explanation to try to harmonize between two clearly contradictory accounts. Let me finish, right? But the text here, when we read the text, like with the Quran, I showed you the text. With the Bible, the text here clearly contradicts, and you know that.
No, it doesn't.
The text. So read to me from the text.
Okay, sure. So let's go ahead.
Would you like me to read? Or?
I'll go ahead and read it.
All right.
So,
Matthew.
Matthew
27:5.
We're going to start at 3.
All right.
Then when Judas, his betrayer, saw that Jesus was condemned, he changed his mind and brought back the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and the elders, saying, I have sinned, and by betraying innocent blood, they said, what is this to us? See to it yourself. And throwing down the pieces of silver into the temple, he departed and he went and hanged himself. But
There's no purchasing of land. Go ahead.
But the chief priests, taking the pieces of silver, said, it is not lawful to put them into the treasury, since it is blood money. So they took counsel and bought with them the potter's field as a burial place for strangers. Therefore, that field has been called the field of blood to this day. So,
Excellent.
Not making it up, the priests used Judas's money to buy the field.
Excellent.
So that's why it can be said that with his money, or Judas bought the field because it was his money. That
So let me explain this. Let's be fair. Just be fair, okay? Let's say this is Brother Abdul Mateen. He has $200 and he throws it at me. He's like, psh, throws it at me, right? I take that money and I'm like, bro, how are you gonna do this to me, right? And I say, he threw that money at me and then went and killed himself, right? Then I go, he's already dead, he killed himself. I go and buy a car with it. Can you say he bought a car? You know.
No. If you use this money to do that,
you know that, bro. Come on, just be fair with me. Look how fair I was with you.
We are being fair.
Okay, if he threw the money at me and he's dead and I buy a car, you said he bought it?
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Let's say my dad gave me money.
Okay.
And I used that money to go buy a car.
Excellent.
Can it not be said that my dad bought that car?
No. Let me explain it. Let me explain it. Can I explain it?
Yeah.
Can I explain it? Right?
Please.
Let's say your dad gives you $100. He just throws it at you, right? You go buy meth with it. Like, I'm not saying you would. You're a good kid. I'm just giving an example, right? Can we arrest your dad for buying meth?
No, you can't.
In Matthew 27:5, Judas died before the land is purchased. He threw the money in the temple and then went and hanged himself. Then the priest decided they're not going to use this money because it's blood money. Then the priest went and buy a field to bury foreigners, non-Israelites. And that's in verse 7. So in verse 5, he went and hanged himself. Verse 7, they decided to buy the field. In Acts 1:18, he wasn't dead. He was alive and he went and bought the field with his own betrayal money, and then falling headlong, not dropping from hanging, falling headlong, not dropping from hanging, he died. So that's a clear contradiction. In Acts, he went and bought the field while being alive and died in the field that he bought. In Matthew 27:5, he threw the money, didn't buy a field, and then went and hanged himself. And when he was dead, in verse 7, that's when the field, which is a different field, was bought by the priest. You can't harmonize this, my boy. It's a clear contradiction.
Can't arrest my dad.
That's because you did it. We cannot say your dad did it. Come on, bro. Come on. Give me that. Give me that. Come on, bro. No, it's not linguistic. Look, if you say somebody throwing money at you and you taking that money buying something is them buying it, then when your dad threw $100 at you and you bought meth, arrest him for buying meth. You know this.
Yeah, so if my dad threw me the $200, I go and buy a car with it. I can't say my dad.
No, because he just threw money at you. You made a decision. Let's say you bought that car. No, let me explain it, right? Your dad just listen. If you say somebody throwing something at you and you buying it without their consent, without their decision, is them buying it, right? If you're saying that, then when you buy that car, can you go and register under your dad's name?
Why is it no? We're not talking about without consent. Let's stick to the analogy. He threw them. Yeah.
They made the decision to buy the land, not him.
That's not against his consent or with him.
Did he say buy the land?
He didn't say don't buy the land.
Excellent. Did your dad say buy the meth?
He didn't say don't buy it.
Exactly. So does that mean he gets arrested for buying meth?
Let's go to the car.
It's over, bro.
Go to the car.
It's over, bro.
Go to the car.
It's over, bro. Let me.
So if you commit suicide and die, you can buy a land. Dead people buy land for other dead people to be buried. Is that like the logic of Christians nowadays? This is crazy, huh?
Yeah, let me explain it linguistically.
Yes,
right?
we're talking in linguistics.
If your father throws money at you, does not give you any instructions, and you go to the DMV and you say, I want to register this car under my dad's name, he bought it, right? But he didn't tell you to buy a car, right? You cannot register under his name because unless he gave you instructions. So this is where, come on, bro. You know this is over, right?
You're talking about legal implications. When I'm talking about linguistic implications.
I gave you the linguistics of it, but okay.
Yeah, but you're being closed.
Let's go to Second Chronicles.
Wait. So you don't.
Wait. Let's keep going because I've already explained this to you, and I gotta go, and you're afraid of more. Let's go to. I'm
afraid of what?
More contradiction.
Wait, we're talking about.
Let's go.
Judas.
Let's go. We already.
Judas.
Yeah. No. You just told me Bible. You didn't say Judas.
No, yeah.
Let's go to Second Chronicles.
Wait, Usla.
Let's go to Second Chronicles.
Wait, Usla.
Let's go to Second Chronicles.
Wait, Usla.
Second Chronicles. Second Chronicles. Why are you scared, bro?
I'm not.
Let's open it then. We're just getting started here. Let's go. We're gonna go next Sunday and next Sunday. I got 50 contradictions, bro.
That's beautiful.
Sitting here. Second Chronicles, chapter 36, verse 9, please. I'm hearing you.
Okay, we're talking.
All right.
We did not finish about.
See, God logic by himself, he's weak. So now what he does, every time he goes for a debate now, he will have a bunch of cheerleaders cheering him on. Everything he say, they go, yeah, oh, Christ is king, Christ is king. Because he knows he doesn't have the truth. The truth doesn't need cheerleaders. Truth stand on its own.
Can God be wrong in anything?
No. What's the Injil? What's the Injil? What's the Injil?
What's the Injil? What's the Injil? What's the Injil? What's the Injil? What's the Injil? Stay still. That's number one. Here's number two, guys. Number two. I love how he admitted that the Quran says the Injil is with us. That's what he said. He said it.
To be God. When he says he is the Son of God, he's claiming it in that he's equal with the Father and shares the same nature as the Father. This is what I'm saying. When he says, isn't it in your law that
Scripture, Matthew 19:17 said, "Why callest thou me good? There's none good but one, that is God."
is Jesus good?
Too.
Is Jesus good?
I can call him good.
So then
what
he's
did
God.
he say? What did he
Then
say
he's
about
God.
himself?
Wow. What a weak argument. Christ says, don't call me good. There is only one good, and that's God. Meaning he's humbling himself and leaving the title of being good only to God. So this stupid logic said, is Christ good? The guy said, I would like to think so. And then he's like, oh, then he's God. Is that how you become God? Are you serious? It's just like me providing for somebody. And then the person called me provider. And I'm like, don't call me provider. Only God is a provider. And then that somebody else thinks I'm a provider. So does that make me astaghfirullah? This is low-level polemics. This is bad.
All right, take care. All right, guys. Say bye. Say bye. 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 Christ is king. Christ is king. God is king. Bye. Christ is king. Christ is king. Christ is king. Go on this side. Go on this side.
Grown man with armpit hair cheerleading, hyping up another man. That's a little suspect, man.
I'm glad. Listen, give him a hand.
I am telling you that that's finished. The reason is because I gave you clear examples, meth, car buying, food, so that show that if I did not give instructions to buy something and somebody else buys it, I am not responsible. Can I finish? I am not responsible, and I cannot be the purchaser because I didn't make that decision. Okay? Let me finish with that, okay? But when we see that the decision to buy the land had no input from Judas, it was the priest's decision, right? Judas just threw the money, right? You cannot say he bought the land because he did not give those instructions, okay? But so, let's keep going because you wanna go in a loop because you're afraid of the other ones, right? Come on, bro.
I like to finish
Come on.
points.
Go ahead, finish.
I like to
finish.
Points.
Go ahead.
So your examples all came from legalistic implications. You're talking about I can't get in trouble if I just threw her the money and she did something illegal. However, I'm talking linguistically. If my dad threw me money for my birthday, just threw money at me, and I bought something, I can linguistically say my dad bought this for me because he threw the money at me.
Let me explain.
I'm just talking about linguistics.
Let me explain it, okay? First thing, your dad for your birthday. Now you're putting in this context where he is. Let's
take out the birthday.
Okay.
We'll take out the birthday.
This brother who doesn't know you, he's pissed off for the money he has. He throws it at you. You take that money and you buy whatever you want that he has no ability to choose in. When they ask you who bought, he's dead. When they ask you who bought this, you cannot say he did. That money was in your possession. It was your decision. He has no knowledge of it. He has no instructions of it. He hung himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go. Okay. Let's go to 2 Chronicles, verse 36:9. I ain't got a lot of time, man. Come on.
You said you got
I know. I'm here, staying here just for you. That's how much I like you. I'm gonna be late to my wife and kids for you.
Oh man, get there.
It's all good. Okay, read it.
Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he became
Excellent.
king.
No. What
And he
chapter
reigned-
and verse is this?
2 Chronicles 36, verse 9.
Read it here.
Joachim was 8 years old. Okay.
So why is it that that Bible has 18 and this has 8?
Based on manuscript.
Which manuscript is this on? This is the King James version.
Yeah, so yours is based on certain manuscripts that came.
So which one is the actual Bible?
Well, we have the earliest manuscripts that help us with this. and
Okay.
So that's why.
So this Bible is based on an error.
I honestly won't know about that.
No, I'm showing you two verses.
Yeah.
Same verse, two Bibles, two different ages. So which one is correct?
But we got to be talking about manuscripts, right? So
Okay. Which manuscript is this based off?
it's based off later manuscripts. than
Which
this one.
what manuscript? What's Codex Sinai?
I honestly
You don't know?
Don't know
So
exactly.
one of these is wrong.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. So was he 8 or 18?
Well, I'm going with the 18
Why?
because that's the Bible I use.
Well, why do you use that one over this one?
It's just the one I use.
So one of these is wrong, right?
We gotta look
Come
into
on.
it. We gotta look
Such an
into it.
intelligent young man, but can't admit it. Can't admit when he's wrong, right?
Look what I just
Was he
said.
8 or 18? Look, it's a numeric contradiction.
Mine says 18.
Okay.
So I'm going
Okay.
with this manuscript that says
For no
18.
reason. This is not a manuscript. This is a printed
Well,
book.
it's based off the manuscript.
What is the difference between the manuscript? You don't know. You're
I
just
just told
assuming.
you. The
Okay.
King- the
So
King
one
James
has
made
to
it.
be wrong.
Sure.
So this one is wrong. This Bible is wrong.
We'll go with that. I don't use King
Okay.
James.
Okay. King James version's wrong.
I'll go with the King James has errors.
Second Chronicle.
I'll go with the King James has errors.
Second Chronicles 22:2. Let's see how many errors we get in the Bible now. Why you look all serious, bro? You all right? You good?
Trying to find it. Do I look serious?
You do. Yeah, earlier you were all happy. Now you look a little bit.
I'm super
Keep
happy.
smiling. Good.
I got the
All
same energy. Ain't nothing changed.
Second Chronicles 22:2.
I ain't got nothing.
Nice.
I ain't got nothing.
Nice.
I ain't got nothing.
Nice.
I'm having a good time. 22?
Yes. 22:2.
If you look at my grandparents don't adopt it.
Okay.
My mom's generation. But like my mom's generation.
Read it to me.
Ahaziah
Ahaziah.
was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem.
Wow. Now read it here.
He was 42 years old. Yeah, I don't
So this is another
a difference. Another
difference. So this is wrong.
Yeah, I guess so.
So King James version that is being given out.
I
Oh no,
don't
but
use the King James.
oh no, but the thing is, either he was 8 or 18, 22 or 42. So this
I don't
Bible
use the King
being
James.
giving out is filled with manuscript errors. This is what you're saying.
It looks like it. Yeah. It looks
Excellent.
like there's scribal errors in it.
All right.
And that's-
Excellent.
Because
Second-
look,
go ahead.
we have to take into account the history of how stuff was coming out. With this one
Right. Mm-hmm.
being based on the limited manuscripts that it had, the later ones, and then there was an influx of new discoveries with earlier manuscripts. Certain
Excellent.
variants were solved.
So that
It was like, okay.
that means those Bibles that were given out under King James version, and still, like, this is new, are filled with manuscript errors. We do agree there, right?
we can.
All right, cool. I'm good. Good.
Scribal errors, scribal mistakes.
Okay.
What logic said is so bad. You know, the King James is based for the New Testament on the Textus Receptus, and for the Old Testament is based on the Masoretic text. So that means for 341 years, the Holy Spirit was silent while those who read the Bible in French, English, German, Italian, and Spanish were reading errors and contradiction. This is what God logic just admitted to, because the King James was published in 1611 and the RSV was published in 1952 when they discovered the new manuscripts. 341 years, Holy Spirit was like, I don't care. Let them read mistakes and contradiction. Who cares? Millions and millions and millions of people. Next video coming up.